Hello, bonjour, Calgary. Did you know that at least 238,000 people speak Français in Alberta and that 90,000 live right here in Calgary? Oui, c'est vrai. It's true. And now, thanks to Shaw Community Access Programming, we get to reach out to everyone to let you know all about our special people, places, events, and activities happening in this fair city in both English and en français. That's right, mes amis. We begin the first part of our program in English and then we repeat it en français. So stay with us. Welcome to Hello, Bonjour, Calgary. My name is Anne Boiteau, and today we'll be chatting with Crystal Plamondon. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Nice to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
So, Crystal is an author. She's a singer. She's an actress. Where did it all start?
I guess I was dreaming of being in show business. I don't know if that's true, but I started singing when I was real young, about 5, 6 years old, 10 years old. I started in a band because my whole family played music. So I always sang. I didn't know anything else, and I never had anything else to fall back on. So I just had to keep singing, and I've been really blessed. I've been lucky to just keep doing it, and people keep wanting it.
That's good. So when was your first real show?
I was 10 years old, 1973. Oh yeah, gee, that's dating me, huh? Darn it. 73, and it was in my hometown of Plamondon, Alberta. And I was in my cousin and my brother's band, and I was so scared to get on stage. And yet I wanted it so bad. Oh, I was so shy, but I did it, and I guess I had a good voice at that age. You know, when we grew up, there was no American Idol, Canadian Idol, and all that stuff, you know?
Right.
And there was no really training, so you either had a good voice or you didn't. So I was lucky enough to have a good voice, and I just...
And did you like it? Were you like stage fright a bit?
Well, I loved it. I was like a maniac for music. Anything show business, TV, dance, movies, music. And I loved it, but I was so scared. And I mean, I still get stage fright even now, but scared, whew. Yeah, I was really...
So, and where did it go from there?
I always wanted to do it professionally. I always knew that's what I was going to do. And I always wanted kids also, so I had the kids, and at the same time just kept singing the whole time because that's the only way I knew how to make money. And it was awesome because, you know, I had nothing else to fall back on, so it was my career, but it was my job. And I always was serious about, you know, anything from my career, my music. And so it was always, I don't know, it was just, I always say I never chose it, it chose me.
Ah, and you were born in Plamondon, Alberta.
Yes.
Same name. So was that part of your family? Your great-grandfather or somebody?
It was my great-grandfather in 1908. And
who came to settle in Plamondon?
Yeah, who came to from Michigan, and the Oblate fathers were canvassing, you know, in the East and in the States for French Catholics to come out west. For $10 you could get 160 acres. And so Le Père Joseph Plamondon, he was quite an explorer and adventurer, and he thought he should really come out west here to Canada because he wanted to keep his language and his culture, and in the United States they weren't able to speak French and you know, keep their Catholic faith. And so he came to northern Alberta in the west and named a town after himself.
Ah, that's great. And you also sing in the States, right?
Yes.
And all over the world as well. You've been to Africa, you've been, where else have you been?
Europe. I've done a lot of shows in Europe, in France and Belgium, and and in Africa, in French, in West Africa, and a lot in Louisiana and a lot of the states and Texas and Colorado. And I just been really blessed because I've always wanted to travel also. And so with my music, I was paid to travel.
That's good. And do you sing both in French and English?
Yeah.
And is there a preference?
Well, French is my first language, my mother tongue, and then I grew up singing in English because I spoke French, but I sang English because we had no French radio or records or TV.
Oh, okay.
So all the songs we knew were old country songs in English, like Hank Williams and stuff like that, and gospel. And so I sang in English, and then when I write in both languages. Some French, some English, and some bilingual songs. And yet some people tell me, even English-speaking people, even in Nashville, somebody told me that they liked my songs better in French because they sounded more passionate. And I thought, isn't that amazing? But I don't know, maybe it's because that's my mother tongue. Or just because French is more passionate, I'm not sure.
Could be both.
Yeah.
Could be both.
I think probably because it's my mother tongue. You know.
So your mom was French and your dad was American, English.
Yeah.
No, French as well?
Yeah, he was a Franco-American.
Okay.
And his dad married a Quebecoise, Bourassa. So my dad was Franco-American, but his mom was very, bourgeois French. Because when they left Quebec, they were really quite wealthy. So it's kind of neat. So we have a real mixture, and my mom is very Quebecois, her family, and but my parents were born here, but they're different side of Quebec. You know what I mean? From Black Lake and Thetford Mines and
oh yes, northern Quebec too.
Yeah.
So that's why
Lévis,
we went maybe northern.
So I think I'm lucky. I got a good mix, and so they were both born in Alberta, and I was born in Alberta, and. So I don't know. I like to say I'm Franco-American because I'm, North American because of where I come from. But
you have dual citizenship.
No, because I'm a very proud Canadian.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
I say I'm number one. I say I'm French Canadian, and then I say I'm from Alberta.
Okay, and talk to us a little bit about your writing as well. You write songs in French and in English.
Yes.
And you're also writing a book.
I've always been a fan. I've always been a reader. I mean, I was a nerd, and all the kids were real cool and stuff. I was always reading in a corner, And I love books, and I love autobiographies. And I've been told a couple of times, you should write stories of your life. Because they're all real, true stories. Because I was born and raised in northern Alberta, in the bush. We really were, not wealthy. Raised on a farm in the bush. My dad was a trapper. My mom and dad. So I have all those stories. So I thought, I'm going to put them down, and so that's what I started doing. So hopefully, somebody will want to read them.
Oh, I think if they're anything like your songs, they'll be super interesting.
Because a song is a little mini story, 3 minutes, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And then what about your acting career? When did you start that?
And I've always wanted to act because I've always just been a fan of, TV and Carol Burnett. Whew, I love Carol Burnett.
You were watching Carol Burnett.
And
she's funny.
I always liked that you could sing and act, and I'm never going to win an Oscar or anything like that. It's just I like acting, and I got the chance to do a play that was written in Alberta by Ken Brown, a bilingual play, and the gal is Franco-Albertan, and she's a cowgirl, and so it was like, hey, it's kind of a perfect fit, and so that I started that, and I've been able to do. That was really hard, live theater. So I give credit to all those actors that do live theater. That is unbelievable. That's a lot of work. And
live and bilingual. Was that tough?
Yeah.
To
Well, you know,
switch back and forth?
no,
or to...
because being bilingual like that that's how we speak in Alberta. A lot of the Franco-Albertans, you know, like Acadians.
Yes.
So it was easy for me. If it would have been probably all in French, it would have been harder for me. And if it would have been all in English, I would have had maybe a big accent, maybe like I do now.
We all have accents. You were singing in the play as well? Was there?
She happened to be a singer, if you can imagine. She happened to be a singer too, so I got to sing a little bit. So that was fun. So it wasn't a stretch as much. So I'd like to try something where I wasn't singing at all, where it was more serious, because that's probably harder for me, because I like joking and kidding around. And
And what about movies? Are you thinking about maybe?
Well, I had a few tiny little parts, and movies are certainly easier, and TV, because you get to do everything over again, not like live theater. But I've had a few of my own TV shows, like talk shows, host, you know, in the Montreal, Music Max, and stuff like that. And that was fun. But for me, anything in the arts is better than cleaning toilets.
That's good.
And I've done that too. So.
Did you live in Quebec for a while?
I did. I lived in Montreal for 6 months, and it was good. I loved it, being immersed in my mother tongue, but I missed my home. I mean, I was born in Alberta, and I missed the skies, and everybody knew I was homesick. I just missed it. I'm a country girl, so that was hard for me. But then when I come home to Alberta, I still do miss a little bit of the culture, you know. But you can travel. It's easy to.
And you have 2 children, right?
2 children, yes.
Do they sing?
They sing really well, but not professionally. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to be in the arts because they said they wanted to make money.
Yes.
So, but no, they both have beautiful voices, but they don't sing in public. Just when we're together. They used to sing with me on stage when they were little all the time. So, probably if somebody's watching this has known me for years, remember my kids, you know, being on stage.
Oh, that's good. And what's next in your life? What's coming up?
Well, I'm writing. I'm also writing with my business partner a couple of TV shows, one in English and one in French.
Oh.
So I want to try the producing side. So I produced a few songs for. I got to produce a few songs for CBC's Heartland, so I love that. So I'm working on the producing side behind the camera.
Ah, nice.
So that's exciting.
Yes, so you've really tried just about everything in the arts, right?
Hopefully, I still got lots to do, but hopefully I'll be here for a while yet.
Good. Well, thank you so much for sharing part of your life with us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you.
Well, thank you.
And we've got a little surprise for you coming up. I don't know if you remember, but in 1994, you did this show. And at that time, you said you were 3 years into your professional career. So would like to show you a little clip again of the show that you did back then.
Style pas mal spécial. J'ai toujours chanté en anglais-français. Donc, quand j'ai commencé ma carrière professionnelle il y a 3 ans, les gens commençaient à dire que je chantais la musique Cajun. Et moi, je n'avais aucune idée parce que mon grand-père et arrière-grand-père qui vient des États-Unis, c'était vraiment surtout des Franco-Américains. Donc, pour moi, c'était toujours un style bilingue, puis Cajun, tu sais, country.
On va avoir ben du fun. Je vais aller voir mes vieux amis, Adelie, Zachary. Il y a beau soleil qui vont toute la nuit. Il y en a qui viennent de l'Acadie. On va